Hello everyone, Minal here again. I'm the founder and the lead tax strategist at KB Tax Deviser CPAs here in Central Valley, Pennsylvania. And I'm coming up today with some of the lately announced updates on the EIDL loan as well as the PPP loan and the stimulus checks. So initially when the law was passed, when the CARES Act was passed, it was announced that they will give the EIDL $10,000 grant upfront, whether your application is accepted or denied. But to my best knowledge, no one has received that $10,000 to this date. However, they made changes to that bill, and what they have announced and finalized now that the grant, instead of giving the $10,000 upfront, they will pay $1,000 per employee per business. So if you have 5 employees, if you were supposed to get $10,000 before, now you will receive only $5,000. If you have 10 employees, you will still receive $10,000. But if you have 12 employees, you will only receive $10,000, not more than that. So it's $1,000 per employee, capped at $10,000. So that was a big pushback. Now, what they are saying that the grants are supposed to be funded this week. So for those of you who has already applied for the EIDL grant, you might see money in your account sometime this week or by next week. And if you have not applied for it already, go ahead and apply it. The application is very simple and it's very straightforward. It shouldn't take you too much of a time to apply for it. Now, what SBA is saying when it comes to the PPP, many of the businesses have already applied for the PPP grant, and many will be applying in upcoming days. Just wanted to go over a few updates and what I have found out from the insiders. With the PPP, many banks have started accepting applications. And in case if your bank is not accepting the application, do let us know. We have the list of banks who are taking the non-client or non-business client as well. So if you don't have a business relationship with your bank and you're looking to apply for the PPP loan, there are other lenders which are accepting right now. And those are SBA approved lenders. You do not pay any fees to any of them because SBA is going to pay to the bank and banks are going to pay to your agents like CPAs. So you don't have to pay anything to them, but the bank will pay to them. That is, again, they have updated it in just last 2 days, and they have now a form, SBA 159, which is a form for agent and banker relationship where agent is certifying that they didn't charge you anything for that loan application, and bank in turn will pay them. So that's there. Now the next thing with the PPP loan, the SBA is immediately approving the applications that are already submitted. And I did hear from some people who had applied last Friday, Saturday, they have started getting money already in their account, or they have got a notification from the bank that they will receive money in their account very soon. And so the way it works, banks are required within 5 business days of the submission to turn around the funding. So within 5 days, bank have to get the underwriting done, submit the application to the SBA, and SBA will in turn, approve your application if it is already complete, and bank will have to finish the funding within 5 days. Now, so many banks are freaking out as they are under the fire here. And so they are holding on some of the applications to just make sure to catch up. Like for example, F&B Bank. F&B Bank, they only have is the First National Bank. They only have the process in place right now to go online, finish up the application, and upload the application, 2-page application. That's it. Besides that, they have no any other process in place. And what they are saying, we will contact you with the email for the further process. I haven't heard back anything from them since last 2 days. Actually, this is what they had on Friday. So since Friday, they have not given any updates. Now, there are some banks which are taking the whole application in one time. So, and for those of you who are banking with the Wells Fargo Bank, they have stopped accepting applications as of Monday. They only accepted some applications, hardly on Saturday and few on the Monday morning. With them, they have some issues with the SBA where their capacity has been reduced because of whatever things happened in the past, all the scandals that happened in the past. So that's why they are not accepting any business application for the PPP loan. Unfortunately, we had the account with them as well. And I'm like, I was really disappointed that I was not able to get the PPP loan. But it all worked out good. I was able to file the PPP application for our firm today in the afternoon through one of the online lender. The process was fairly simple and easy, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them. So moving on to the stimulus check, the stimulus checks are expected to be coming in next week, probably by April 15th. So, and if we're talking about the April 15th, just want to remind that you don't have to file your taxes on April 15th. If you, those taxes, the July 15th is now the new April 15th. So if you owe the taxes to the IRS, you have filed the taxes to the IRS, which is well and good, you can hold on to making that payment until July 15th. Or if you think that you have to file an extension, file the extension on July 15th, but then your actual tax return is still due on October 15th. That extension date has not been changed. So, but it is still advisable to file your taxes and get that thing done so that you can check off that on your list and you don't really have to worry about it. So there have been few changes and some announcement in the media regarding the Social Security recipients and their stimulus checks and how they would qualify for the stimulus. Now, it has gone back and forth about, do they need to file return initially with the CARES Act? They didn't need to file a return. They were going to get data from the SSA. So there has been so many things going on. So now, they have come out and said that the Social Security recipients need to file return to get their stimulus. Again, it's not 100% sure, but they're just debating on it. And, until they clarify and get the approval from the Treasury, and Treasury gives us the updates, it's going to take more time. And, if they don't require them to file the tax return right now, my understanding is they will not receive the stimulus payment at least until 4 to 6 months, because IRS is giving the first priority to the people who has filed the tax returns in 2018 or 2019, have given the direct deposit information. And also, I did read somewhere that they are giving priority to the people in the income brackets. If you're $10,000 and below, you receive, you get the first chance. As your income increases, your hierarchy keeps going behind. So they just push by a little few days. But if that is the case, then by the time they get to work on these people who have received the Social Security benefits, they might be looking at around at least 4 to 6 months before they can see the stimulus payment. So I don't know when it is, when it is supposed to be released, but here's what I think we should do. And, while we are just left here in limbo, why not just make some educated decisions here? And instead of waiting to be guided here, it's just best to file the taxes with the direct deposit information on the return so that they can be moved on top of the line to get the stimulus check. Again, this isn't official. This is just my opinion. By doing so, you will be able to get your stimulus check payment sooner rather than waiting for 4 to 6 months. So that's my 2 cents on there. Now, we keep hearing more and more updates on the EIDL and PPP from time to time. And as we hear more updates, we will be here again to update you guys on this. Until then, stay safe and stay tuned for the updates from the KB Tax Deviser CPAs. And bye for now.